welcome. Since my last video, a lot of things have changed with me environmentally, financially, physically, mentally, spiritually. A lot has changed. And tomorrow, on Monday, it will be exactly 1 month since I have turned 29. And for a moment, I got really sad because I was just thinking back on my 20s and feeling like I could have done a lot more to prepare me for my 30s and really pave the way for my 30s. But my mom always has this saying that nothing happens before the time. So it is what it is. Here's 29 lessons that I've learned since turning 29 and that I'm still learning. The first one is do it fat. Do it fat because you weren't doing it skinny anyways. I feel like I was in this state of constantly comparing myself, constantly comparing my body to other women, as many other women have done. And when I was skinny, I was like, oh, I'm going to lose 20 more pounds. I want to lose 20 more pounds before I put myself out there. Baby, do it fat because you were not doing it skinny anyways. You were giving yourself every excuse not to do it when you were skinny. Number 2, get comfortable, especially my girls, my women, get comfortable with the fact that your body's going to change over the course of your lifetime. You are not always going to be skinny. Some people will be. It's, again, no use comparing yourself to others. Everybody has their own genetic advantage, and that just might not be you. Your body's going to change. For the women who want children, your body's going to change when you want kids because it's going to adapt. You just simply need to accept that fact. Accept that fact that it's going to change. Your body at 29 is not going to look like what it did at 24 and 25. Your body at 24 and 25 is not going to look like what it did when you were 18. Be grateful for, especially for women who have gained weight now and are beating up on themselves because they've gained so much weight, but you're still mobile. You still have all of your mobility and your ability to do the same things that you were doing when you were at a lower weight. Be grateful that you still have that mobility, because there is always going to be somebody who wishes that they were in your shoes, regardless of what weight you're at. Number 3, learn that you don't have to like your body all the time, but you do have to love it enough to treat it well and nurse it back to health. Not everybody's meant to be skinny. Not everybody's meant to be fat. You just have to figure out what health looks like for your body and your body type and work your way to your desired threshold. Number 4, take pictures because they're reminders of your existence in the vessel that you've been given. And I say this because so often when we gain weight, we tend to end up having this fear of being perceived. The way I see it is that for me personally, my body was young, hot, and tight. And now I'm at a heavier weight, the heaviest I've ever been in my entire life. I don't have that many pictures. And the pictures that I've taken, I've had to be forced to take them. I just felt so uncomfortable. I just felt so uncomfortable being seen and pictured. But your memories and experiences are so much bigger than your weight. 5, your real friends do not care about whether you've gained weight. They're just happy to share another moment with you. This comes back again to that fear of being seen, especially with our friends that we haven't seen in a really long time. Sometimes it might be a little nerve-wracking to see them again and you've gained a few pounds and you look a lot different. But when you end up spending time with them and you have not had one single conversation about, oh, you've gained weight or whatever, then you kind of realize, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Your friends just want to spend more time with you. You are so much more than your weight. Stop making your weight literally the center of your world. And I'm still talking to myself right now because I feel like I still am learning this. But it's so important to just get over it. Just get over it. It's not that deep. It's not that deep, okay? And I feel like the more you allow yourself to be seen, the less you make your experiences about your weight, the less you become anxious about, oh my gosh, they're going to see me that I'm fat now. Number 6, it's one thing to be introverted and it's another to be isolated. Once again, that whole thing of that fear of being perceived. During my 2 years when I was living on my own, I ended up isolating myself a lot because I was so afraid of being seen, because I had gained so much weight and I just did not recognize myself. And mind you, a lot of the people that I was meeting, they didn't know me before. They don't know me at a skinnier weight. So it's not like they can be like, oh my gosh, Juneile, you've gained so much weight. But for some reason, that was just in my head the whole time. And I didn't allow myself to deepen any of the connections that I made. It makes me sad because I met some really nice people that I think I could have built like lifelong bonds with. And there is this couple in particular, especially, that I keep thinking of, and I was just going through so much and just wanting to keep away. And I would say, oh, I'm just more introverted. I'm more introverted. No, I was isolating myself. I had no family. I had just cut off friends that did me so wrong. And I just didn't know if I wanted to pursue any friendships in a city that I knew I wasn't going to be around in for much longer. And plus, I just did not want people to look at me. I just hated having people looking at me. But, you know, when you understand that introverts, a lot of introverts enjoy social connection just as much as an extrovert, just not on the same scale. What you're doing is isolating. If you realize that you haven't spoken to a person in over a week, or the last person you spoke to was maybe the guy at the corner store, baby, it's time to get out. It's time to get out. And that brings me into number 7. Get out of your head, because there's no one else in there but you. Again, when you isolate yourself, it is so easy for you to turn in on yourself, get into your head, and just live in this echo chamber of projections and fears and negative beliefs about yourself. And the only way to do that is by, I feel, connecting with people, having conversations with new people, having conversations with good friends who care about you. And if you have a healthy relationship with your parents, having healthy conversations with healthy parents. You get what I mean. But yeah, get out of your head. People are not thinking about you as much as you think they are. You are there thinking that everybody's thinking about you. Everybody's got something to say about you. Nobody's got nothing to say about you. People don't even know you. That leads me into point number 8. Stop thinking for people. Stop thinking for people. Allow people to come up with their own judgment of you. Allow people to build their own connection with you. Don't build something for them and then be disappointed that this person didn't turn out to be exactly what you thought they were supposed to be in your head. Number 9, stop making self-deprecating jokes. They're not funny. You're giving people permission to degrade you, basically. And you don't need that. It's not funny. The jokes were never funny. They were never funny. Deal with your shame trauma. Again, a lot of that fear of being perceived, shame-based. Certain beliefs you might have about yourself, shame-based. The reason why you don't necessarily feel like you can speak up for yourself, shame-based. So learn to deal with that. Allow yourself to bring all of these things to the forefront of your consciousness so that you're able to pinpoint when you're in certain destructive behaviors. You can kind of realize, oh, I'm doing this because that's shame. Like, that's shame that I'm feeling right now. Number 11, there's absolutely nothing. There is absolutely nothing I want you to listen to this one clearly, loud and clear. If there's nothing else that you retain from this video, retain this. There is nothing, 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 nothing that can lower your value as a woman, as a person, other than yourself. And anyone who wants to contend with that can piss off. It is not another person's job to put a value on you. You put that value on yourself. You have to stand in your worth. Know your worth. Build your worth. Your value will never decrease unless you allow yourself to think that. 12. Allow people who care about you to help you. A lot of us were taught not to take things from people, not to accept things from people because evil eye, you don't know where they got it, this, that, and the third. But I think that as long as you're accepting help from the right people and people who genuinely care about you, it's not about accepting help from Dick, Tom, and Harry, but accept help from the people that care about you, because that is what deepens friendships. That is what deepens connections. When you allow yourself to be cared for, because that also teaches people how to care for you. 13. Don't let somebody who has more experience or knowledge dictate how you make decisions. You're your own person. You have your own journey. You can definitely take their advice with a grain of salt, but don't let that be the reason why you make a definitive decision. It's the same thing, like and I think I mean this as your parents. Your parents do not know everything. They do not. And I speak on this especially for my immigrant kids or kids of immigrants. Your parents are not always right. They just want the best for you. So they're going to suggest what they know with the level of understanding that they've gotten. They do not know everything. Sure, you need to listen to them, hear them out, but always just take the good, leave the bad, and make your own decisions. Do what you want to do at the end of the day. And that takes me into number 14. Stop people pleasing. Stop people pleasing. Do what you want. And I feel like I did this way too much. And I made a lot of decisions in my early 20s based off of not just my parents, but friends. And if I could, I probably would do some things a little differently. And I would stick up for myself a little more. I would allow myself to do certain things and not hold back because, this might not look good because my parents are going to think a certain way about me, or this is not going to make a certain person happy, or, whatever. You're not going to be able to please everybody. You're not. You could be the nicest person. You could literally lay your life out for somebody, and somebody else is still going to say, she shouldn't have done that. Like, what about you? What about your happiness? Think about that. Stop people pleasing. Number 15, trust your gut. If something is telling you if you're in a situation or an environment and something is telling you to get the hell out of there, get the hell out of there. Get the hell out of there. And I say this only because I had a really traumatic experience when I turned 27. This was shortly after literally I think a month after turning 27. I did not listen to my gut. And I got myself in a situation that just changed my life forever. And had I just listened to myself, and I replay that night over and over and over again, and it's crazy because I remember running into a very trusted friend, but I was with a different group of people, and I really thought that I was protected with that group of people, and I wasn't. And unfortunately, certain things happened that night, and it changed my life forever.
Okay, so for better clarity, I remember that night very distinctively. When we got to the venue, I was like, something feels off. Even when we met up with my friends, I guess like friends, but it was just weird and the vibe was off. And I remember telling her, my friend, just letting her know like something feels off, the energy feels dark. I just feel like something bad is gonna happen tonight. And I kept thinking something bad is gonna happen tonight. I remember I was going to the bathroom every 45 minutes or so, and like I would literally just pray, God, please get me home safe. Please take me home safe. I don't know if you can hear me, but I need to get home safe. And that trusted friend that I ran into, somehow anytime I decided to go out, they were always there. And this night in particular, for some reason, I just did not reach out to them to help me to help get me home. And I know they would have done it in a heartbeat, just given our how we knew each other and everything like that. So I was just like yeah. Anyways, all this to say, girl, listen, like when you feel like something's not right, especially when you don't feel like the energy is off and that's radiating off of certain people that you're around, it just get out. Just get out. There's absolutely no need for you to stay in that space.
And I don't think I'm ever going to be speaking on it. Maybe not, but I don't think I'm ever going to be speaking on it, because I think I've resolved within myself that this has just happened. This is something I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life, and that's that. But if you are in a situation where you know things are about to get sticky and your gut is telling you to leave, leave. 16, stop looking for sympathy from strangers. These people do not care about you. Everybody's got their own life going on. And I think this is really more for like my younger self, because so many times I would post on Instagram, I would post on Twitter and be like, I feel so whatever, like I don't want to be here. I wish I could not be on this earth, and things like that. Almost like a cry for help. And like people would reach out, they'd be like, oh, Juneile, are you okay? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then I would just, like, it was really just a cry for attention. It might have been a cry for help, yes, but it felt like a cry for attention because I wouldn't respond. I feel like I was just almost addicted to the feeling of being sad and being in a bad place, when really it was like, girl, get a hobby. 17, be okay with being the villain in somebody's story. Honestly, I've realized from a very young age, I have always had an affinity for the villain. The villain always has the best storyline, always has the best lore, always has the best song. There's a lot of good that comes out of being the villain in somebody else's story. You learn your lessons, you learn who to trust, who not to trust, you learn people's character. And I had to learn this, I guess, the hard way. Actually, I didn't even have to learn it the hard way, but there was a moment in my life where I just did not care. I did not care. I did not care about people's emotions. I did not care what people had to say about me. I did not care about nobody's opinions about nothing. I did me, and I put me first. And I think those years, when I look back, I love the person that I was at that time. Sure, my grades were not good. I was not attending school the way I should have. But girl, I was looking bomb. I was cute. I was taking care of me. And I was just living life. I was literally just living life. Like, I really think back on that time, and I was definitely a villain for some people. And do I care? No. Because for so many years before that, with those same people, I tried my hardest to fit in. I tried my hardest to be a part of a group that would never accept me. I tried to fit in. And they would never accept me. I tried to be just like them, and they would still snicker about the way I spoke, about the way I said things, about whatever. They would take offense to certain small jokes that I would make and try and make things out of like a bigger deal than they needed to be. Be okay with being the villain. Number 18, get over situations. Learn to get over situations. Unfortunately, I had to learn this from a former fling. Your life is going to keep going. Whether you end up with that person or not, whether you get the guy, girl or not, whether you get the money or not, life is going to keep going. So, whatever situation it is, you need to learn to get over it. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Allow yourself to go through the emotions. Allow yourself to feel all of the emotions relating to the situation, yes. But do not dwell on it and allow yourself to be brought down to rock bottom. And I think I mean this in heartbreak and just genuine heartbreak. When somebody lets you down, when somebody has presented themselves as something that you thought they were, as everything that you thought they were and you wanted them to be, and they end up not being that, it is soul crushing. It is soul crushing. But you just gotta move on. You just gotta move on. Because they have gone on with their life. They have moved on with their life. They have had 4, 5, 6 girlfriends in between you, honey. And you're still dwelling on this person. Pack it up. Pack it up. Okay? And move on. Wipe your tears away. Get back to whatever it is you were doing. Take care of yourself. Go have a shower. Get out of bed. Change your sheets. Make your bed. Clean your room. Get back on the horse and keep riding. You are going to be fine. You are going to be okay. Number 19, read more. I feel like this is very self-explanatory. A lot of us have gone through university and I think that's around the time a lot of us have stopped reading because we were consumed with work, the workload that we had to do, our assignments, whatnot. But now a lot of us are done with university, and right, read more. Let go of friends with bad friends. And this is really a 2-for-1. Let go of friends with bad friends. Let go of friends who didn't protect you, because it's going to come back to bite you. You need friends that are going to protect you from certain situations, certain encounters. You need to have people in your corner who are able to stand up for you as well, whether you're present or not. You also need people who are able to kind of just be like, girl, snatch you out of a situation when needed, right? When you guys are out together, whether you guys are out together or not, whatever. And let go of friends with bad friends, because just like they surround themselves with bad friends, they will end up being a bad friend to you. That's kind of just how it works. 21, say what's on your mind. Speak up. People actually enjoy hearing you speak. They love hearing you speak. And I went through a period where I worked at a company, and I worked under this horrible bitch. I'm really just gonna say as it is, a horrible bitch. And I would even go as far as saying she's a cunt. This woman basically made it her life mission to make my life a living hell at work. And because at the time I really intertwined my identity with work, it just leaked into every aspect of my life. I lost confidence in myself. I couldn't hold conversations with people. I couldn't hold eye contact with people. I second guessed myself. I couldn't take it, and it tore me apart. And then in my head, I'm like, oh, people actually don't want to hear me say anything, because a lot of the times this lady would be like, oh, like, you ask too many questions, you talk too much, like she would say like the craziest things. And so in my head, I'm like, damn, like, do I talk too much? Do I have too much of an opinion? Do I speak up too much for myself? And then she would gaslight me on top of it. And then I'm like, oh shit. So like when I speak, like people don't actually understand what I'm saying. But no, she understood very well. She would just like to twist my words and turn it into something that it was not. So, yeah, I had to unlearn a lot of that because I used to be very vocal in my previous positions. Now, in my new job, people actually like hearing me talk, and they're not snarky, they're not condescending, nothing like that. And it's allowing me to regain confidence in myself again. And I love it. Number 22, no matter where you're starting from, whether you're starting over, you're never going to be starting over from zero because you have so much more insight on your situation now, why you've gotten here. Especially if you take the time, sit down with yourself and be like, what got me here? And if you're able to pinpoint that and you really take the time, you're going to realize, okay, now I know how to rebuild this. Now I know how to rebuild my funds. Now I know how to rebuild my business, whatever it is. You're never starting over from zero. 23, stop worrying about people seeing you try new things. Who cares if you fail the first couple of times? You've never done it before. Number 24, learn self-discipline, not because you have to, but because you deserve it. Understand that these people that you love to look up to that are successful have systems in play that work for them, that they have established to get them to where they are now. They've conditioned their minds to keep going no matter what. They stay the course, they keep going. Whether that's weight loss, whether that's content creation, whether that's influencing, whether that's a career, they keep pushing through, right? Think of it as like when you're in university. Just because you failed one exam, are you gonna quit your entire program? No, you keep going and you do better. You bring up your grade point average. It'll go up, it'll go down, but by the end of it, you're still gonna finish with your degree. You deserve the life that you want to live. And I realized this because I kept starting things and giving up on myself. And then I really started asking myself, why not me? It is so corny. You deserve self-discipline. You deserve to apply yourself to things to get the life that you want. I deserve it. I deserve it. Listen, I'm a Leo, okay? A Leo with double Cancer placements. I know that I'm going to need, I know that my needs are emotionally, physically, extremely demanding. So yeah, I have to be self-disciplined to get the life that I want. I know that. And everything that I want, everything that you want is within reach. You just have to discipline yourself. And discipline and motivation are two different things. You can hype yourself up to do something, but if you're not disciplined, you will fall to your emotions. So yeah, still learning that and actively trying to apply that, but yeah. Number 25, stop overwhelming yourself with a bigger picture. You'll get there eventually. Focus on doing the small things and managing with what you have. Like, I feel like so often I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm not at my goal weight, or oh my gosh, like I don't have like my dream life yet. Girl, you don't even make your bed in the morning. Hello. Then that ties back into my self-discipline. Like, you're so overwhelmed with not making it and not having like the perfect life that you always envision for yourself, but you not putting in the work. And I had to learn this. Like, and if you don't put in the work, and if you are handed something by the universe when you are not ready, just be sure that Miss Universe is coming back and she is taking it. She will take it from you and she'll be like, I'm gonna hold on to this for a little while longer until you get your shit together. And that's very much what happened to me. That is very much what happened to me. Work on your self-discipline and do the small things first. Do the small things. Like, start making your bed in the morning. Keep your bedroom clean. When you take something out of your drawer, when you take your clothes off, put them in the hamper, put them back in the drawer. You're doing your makeup, pack your makeup away, put your brushes back, you know, There's no reason for your room to look like a tornado came through it. Drink your water, eat vegetables, please. God, your body's screaming. We're 26. Moving back home does not mean you failed. Sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it's necessary for your growth. Sometimes it's necessary to teach you lessons. Personally, at first, when I was moving back home for the second time, the first time COVID, so I was like, whatever, it doesn't matter. Second time, I was like, damn, I really messed up, because I realized like all my paychecks were getting flushed into DoorDash. Girl, pay your bills. When I had to move home, I had outstanding debt, and it's like, girl, get it together. You know, like, why are you back here? But I'm realizing, especially in the economy that is right now, partially it's my fault, partially it's not, you know. But I also have to be very grateful for the fact that I have parents that were willing to take me back home with open arms. They're like, yeah, definitely come back, and you don't have to leave until you feel confident and truly confident that you can leave. And I was like, true. So not everybody gets that chance. And if you have that chance, take it. I'm back here for a reason. So reasons that I know, and some reasons I don't know, right? We'll figure that out as we go through. But yeah, just because you're moving back home and you've moved back home, that doesn't mean that you failed. Okay. Number 27, quit that motherfucking job. 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 And I'm talking about that toxic job. The jobs that there is just micromanaging, there is poorly delegated workload, toxicity in the workplace, that fake toxic positivity. Girl, there's no amount of job that is worth your health, worth your mental health, because God forbid anything happens to you, they've got your replacement at the door. If you're a remote worker, they got that shipping label prepared, ready to slap that on a box and send it out to the next worker. When I tell you, I quit my job 3 times this year with zero backup plan, and now I'm back home. But when I tell you I've never been happier, the bill collector, they be calling. Bitch, I don't care. I've never been happier. I swear I've never been happier, because like, I don't have bitches in my ear, old hags that wish they could be young, turnt, and lit in my ear, trying to micromanage everything. Can you imagine? I was at a job. The last person before me was producing a quarter of the amount of work that I was producing. And I know this because I had access to what they were outputting. I was outputting double what they were wanting. And these bitches were still talking about, we need more from you. We need more. The client needs more. Bitch, shut up. Shut up. Because you've never had this amount of work in a mighty long time. Shut up. There is no job that is worth your mental health. So just quit. Quit. This brings me right into my 28th point. Be intentional about where you work. Be intentional about where you work. That's where you're going to be giving a lot of your time in the day, and you don't want to be carrying the weight of your work into the rest of your day. You don't want to be that person who's always complaining about their job. I ended up being the person who was always complaining about their job. And I tell you, people were tired of me. People were tired of me, honey. I know it. Even though nobody was saying it, I know it. Because there was nothing else that I could talk about. Worse, if you don't have an outlet, God forbid, you will be insufferable. When I was doing my job search, I was like, I don't want anything under this amount of pay. And I don't want to be doing any kind of I did not want to do customer service. But I still wanted to be in the customer service realm. So whether that was quality assurance, whether that was operations management or whatever, I kind of wanted to still be in that realm. But the job that I got It is still customer service. However, the way that they delegate it is so beautiful. They do it in a way that you're never overloaded with work. You handle one case at a time. You take your time. You may be on the phones 3 hours a day max, but that's about it. That is about it. The benefits that come with it are amazing, and the company perks that come with it are amazing. They're literally going to be flying me out to the headquarters next month to meet the rest of the team. All expenses covered. Like, what? What? And I was crying over some like 80% coverage. Get the hell out of here, bro. Lastly, but not least, you have the time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. And I know people hate to hear it, but I really realized this when I was working 2 full-time jobs and I had a goal that I wanted to reach. I wanted to get healthier. I wanted to do more with my body. So I got a personal trainer. I was waking up at 4:30 a.m., getting to the gym by 5 a.m., working out till 6 a.m., back home by 6:30 and ready to work by 7 a.m. and working until 10 p.m. And in between all of this, I was hitting my protein goals. I was doing my skincare, and I at that time had a full on like 10-step skincare routine, morning and night. And I did not let up, and I was doing an amazing job at it. And that was when I really realized, yes, we do all have the same 24 hours. You simply have to choose what you want to do with that time. I am aware that I'm coming from a place of privilege to be able to say this, but I'm really speaking to the everyday person who feels like, oh, there's not enough time in the day for me to achieve my goals. There is. You just need to be intentional. Be intentional about putting that time aside. Be intentional about putting 5 minutes aside in your car to say your morning devotion, to listen to your morning devotion, listen to your morning affirmations. Be intentional about putting aside, even if it's 15 minutes, to move your body, to stretch your body. Put aside 10 minutes to do your skincare. Put aside a little bit of time. Put that back into yourself. You can do it. You can do it. And on that note, I know this video was really long, but if you stuck around, drop a heart in the comments, okay? Love you.